For a menu stacked with tips and inspiration, you know where to come.
John and Lisa's Weekend Kitchen starts Saturday 8th April at 11:40.
The latest from around the world and here at home now from the ITV News.
A chaotic start to the Easter holidays. Thousands of passengers hoping to get away have been stranded in queues of up to 14 hours waiting to board ferries.
It's quite annoying to be sat here. We don't really understand what's been going on. We haven't been told anything. So we're just kind of sat here just waiting. Not really a clue with how long it's going to be.
Also ahead, millions wake up to yet more rising costs as bills go up while help with the price of energy comes to an end. In the US, death and destruction as tornadoes tear through several states and...
This is ITV News with Duncan Golestani.
Good afternoon. It has been a miserable start to the Easter holidays for thousands of passengers trying to get away, with queues of up to 14 hours for some waiting to board ferries. Drivers at the port of Dover were met with gridlock. Coaches in particular have had long waits. The port earlier declared a critical incident and suggested ferry operators taking additional coach bookings may be to blame, as well as the weather and delays at the French border. From Dover, Ian Woods sent this report.
The start of the school Easter holidays are always going to be busy, but these hold-ups are way beyond what travellers should have to put up with. Coaches in particular had been held in queues overnight, some for 12 hours or more.
No, we haven't been told anything. So we're just kind of sat here just waiting. It's not ideal. It's quite annoying to be sat here. We don't really understand what's been going on.
We're looking forward to getting to Italy, but I feel a long way away right now. You can't really leave the coach, so we're going to be stuck here for a while. Like no service station or nothing, so I don't really know what we're going to do.
Dozens of coaches were diverted to a car park which became a holding area before they were allowed to head for ferries. Passengers could at least stretch their legs or, like this group of youngsters heading for a football tournament, have a kickabout. But they won't now arrive in Amsterdam until early tomorrow morning.
On the ground have actually been fairly helpful. They've been onto the coach a couple of times now just to kind of give us updates, but they're very much not in the know because they're very clear that it's not in their hands. It's all kind of clearing the other side that's the problem.
The ferry companies have apologised for the delays, but the Port of Dover says they're deeply frustrated. They blamed what they called challenging weather conditions and French border processes, but suggested that the primary factor may simply be that the ferry companies booked too many coaches on board.
We actually had 15% more coach volume than we had planned upon. For every passenger going into the European Union, the passports need to be swiped and then they need to be stamped. In a carload of, say, 4 people, that will take a little while. But in a coach where you might have 60, maybe sometimes up to 80 people on some of the bigger ones, that's just going to take a long time.
Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer has called for the government to get a grip so what he called the same old problem doesn't happen every summer and Easter holidays. Well, as you join me live in Dover, signs of progress. We're about a half a mile from the port. At lunchtime today, this road was absolutely chock-a-block. As now you can see, it's passing through pretty freely, but that's because what's happening is that the coaches are being held off-site and only allowed to come down here to the port when there is capacity. So the problems will go on. They will still face a wait of an hour once they get to passport control.
Ian in Dover, thank you. Now it's April the 1st, so a host of changes affecting people's personal finances are taking effect today. Council tax, water, broadband and energy will all cost most people more of their hard-earned cash, fuelling inflation and adding to the cost of living crisis. Here's our political reporter Shihab Khan.
It's sadly not an April Fool's joke. Today the cost of living crisis got worse for a lot of people. Almost every council has raised council tax, most by around 5%, but some in severe financial difficulty went even further. The average household will be forking out an extra £100 a year, which for some could be the final straw.
I can't even plan like that. I'm really living paycheck to paycheck. Like the council tax is to me, it seems to be the last straw. I won't be able to manage that on top of all my other bills to survive in.
The Labour leader today believes his plan would have avoided the need for the hike.
What we would do is to freeze those council taxes this year, not a penny more, and we would pay for that from the oil and gas company profits with a windfall tax, because politics in the end is about choices.
And it's not just council tax. Most will pay £67 more for energy each month as the government's subsidy has ended. Water bills are up by an average of £31 per year in England and Wales, and the average annual mobile and broadband bill is rising by £91. There is, however, some relief, though, for the lowest earners. The minimum wage and living wage are rising as of today, along with most benefits.
2.9 million people getting a big pay rise of 9.7%. Actually, the increase it is. That's £1,600 if somebody's on full-time national living wage. So that's really good news.
It's not just individuals feeling the squeeze. Businesses like this arts club in Soho in central London are also being impacted. The government's energy bill relief scheme will be replaced today by a new scheme which requires them to pay more.
Any increase, be that 10 or 15%, has to be passed on to the consumer. I've had suppliers say to me, can't you just absorb that price increase? Absorb it where? There's no profit to be had as it is.
It's been a difficult period already, and it's not about to get any easier immediately. Shihab Khan, ITV News.
At least a dozen people are now thought to have died in a series of tornadoes and fierce storms across the central United States. It is the start of tornado season there, but more twisters have now been seen in a week than would normally appear in a month, and the number of dead continues to rise. Alex Isaac has the latest.
Twisting through the sky, causing destruction as they go. Up to 50 tornadoes were seen across 6 Midwestern American states. Cars were overturned and houses destroyed. At a rock concert in Illinois, the roof collapsed, killing at least one and injuring dozens. An emergency was declared in Arkansas, where entire neighborhoods were destroyed.
Arkansas and the state government stand ready to offer whatever assistance is needed. We've offered that to the mayor here as well as other cities across the state.
Residents are still coming to terms with what happened. Many were unprepared for such devastation.
The only way we knew the tornado was coming, the leaves were swirling.
It was a lot of pressure. It was quick though. It was less than 20 seconds.
Came barreling straight to my house. It was really dangerous. It was really fast, and it came clear across the center of my home.
This weekend's intense storms came a week after a tornado killed at least 26 people in Mississippi. It's tornado season in the Midwest as humid air from the Gulf of Mexico surges north and hits the cold air in what is referred to as Tornado Alley. An average of 200 twisters are seen from March to June, but this year has proved exceptionally deadly and forecasters are expecting more. Alex Isaac, ITV News.
Here, water companies could soon be hit with unlimited fines for dumping sewage in England's waterways. The government has indicated it intends to remove a cap on fines for polluters after a year in which potential sewage spills happened on average more than 800 times a day. Callum Watkinson is by the River Misbourne in Buckinghamshire for us. Now, Callum, it does look idyllic there, but there could be more under the surface.
Yes, there's a storm overflow just over a mile upstream here, and it's currently been discharging for more than 192 hours, which Thames Water says could mean that there is sewage in this part of the river. Now, they're allowed to do this at times of heavy rain to prevent sewage backing up into people's homes. Sometimes, though, water companies do it when they're not allowed to, and that's when they get fined, either at the culmination of a court case or directly by the Environment Agency through something called a variable monetary penalty, and it's those that this government proposal is looking to increase. At the moment they're capped at £250,000. The idea would be to make them unlimited, although the government did say that in the most serious cases it would still have to go to court. Now, in response to this today, the water industry said they're already 99% compliant across the network. Labour and the Liberal Democrats criticised this idea. Labour called it flimsy. The Lib Dems said it was just more tough talk. What everyone is agreed on, though, is that the real long-term solution to this problem is more investment in the sewage infrastructure.
Thank you, Callum. In other news, a teenage boy has died after being stabbed in a taxi in Leeds. Police say 3 suspects attacked the 18-year-old yesterday evening. His 16-year-old companion was injured and remains in a serious condition in hospital. A 66-year-old man has appeared in court charged with the murders of a father and son in Cambridgeshire. Gary and Joshua Dunmore were found shot in locations 6 miles apart on Wednesday. Stephen Alderton has been remanded in custody. And women eligible for hormone replacement therapy in England can now get a year's worth of HRT for just under £20. A new prepayment certificate became available online this morning. NHS chiefs apologised after the website went down temporarily. In the Premier League, Arsenal have maintained their 8-point lead at the top after a 4-1 win over Leeds. Earlier, defending champions Manchester City did what they had to do to stay in touch in second place. Chris Scudder reports.
No Erling Haaland for City, so would they miss his goal Arsenal's way. But Liverpool have been hit and miss all season, and City are relentless. And it was just a case of how many more, and Jack Grealish made it 4. With Arsenal still to go to City, the title race is far from over.
In rugby's women's Six Nations, France have gone top today with a second straight victory. Despite having a player sent off in the first half, they scored 9 tries, beating Ireland 53-3 in Cork. Scotland and Wales have just kicked off, and England play Italy tomorrow. Finally, the Battersea Dogs and Cats Home says it has been overwhelmed and touched by a surge in donations in memory of its late ambassador Paul O'Grady. Donations have reached £140,000 and counting tonight after a fund was set up following the entertainer's death on Tuesday. Battersea Dogs and Cats Home said the Star will always be associated with the charity. And that is it for now. We're back with the late news at 11:15. Until then, have a very good evening. Bye-bye.
A cold start, with a snow shower spreading quickly across the east. Heinz Seriously Good Mayonnaise sponsors ITV National Weather.
Hello, a very good evening to you. As we roll into April, things are looking nice and settled weather-wise across the UK. This week, certainly plenty of fine weather ahead. Still the risk of frost to come by night, but some warm spells of sunshine during the day and even into next weekend for Easter, settling down nicely. Before that, there will be bits and pieces of rain around at times, chiefly for Western Scotland and Northern Ireland overnight tonight, and a few showers for eastern areas, which are tending to die away over the next few hours or so. Most places having a dry end to the night, and under long, clear spells, it could get a little bit chilly in the north with a touch of frost there. But much of England and Wales will have enough cloud cover and a gentle breeze to keep frost at bay. Tomorrow morning, a cloudy start with patchy rain for northern Scotland. That will tend to die away. And for much of England, Wales, Northern Ireland, a fine start to the day with lots of lovely warm sunshine during tomorrow afternoon. If you're out of any breeze, temperatures could make around 13 or 14 Celsius. And it'll be very pleasant out there. Bye-bye.
Heinz Seriously Good Mayonnaise sponsors ITV National Weather.
Get 2 free chairs on many dining sets this Easter. Save more in the Furniture Village sale.
Where do we start?
Well, how do you sleep?
He gets cold.
And she's always hot.
Our exclusive Slumberland mattress helps keep warm sleepers cool and cool sleepers cosy.
At Benson's for Beds, you can make your bed your way this spring with up to 50% off. Plus, get an extra 10% when you spend over £650. And the best bit? You can buy now, pay absolutely nothing until spring 2024. Benson's for Beds. Sleep made better.
Getting ready is never easy, but just when you feel like it'll never come together.
Shop the latest spring fashion, plus a choice of ways to pay with VeryPay.
Old pensions, unlike old offices, never go out of date. See the benefits of combining them into one plan with Standard Life.
ITVX is the UK's freshest new streaming service with thousands of shows and films. But did you know you can go premium with ITVX?
Oh, this is good.
What else? Stream all of your favorites ad-free.
Fill your boots.
And get even more shows and films with access to BritBox.
It's nice to be wanted, isn't it, eh?
So, what are you waiting for? Start your free 7-day trial today and go premium on ITVX.
I would say this, but to me, the Irish are the funniest people in the world.
If you find any pearls, give them to me, okay?
Everyone's a comedian. In Ireland, one of the greatest compliments you can give someone is to describe them as a character.
Thank you. You're welcome. Hi, how are you?
Because as every writer knows, it's the characters you remember long after you've forgotten the story.
Fill your heart with Ireland. Discover more at ireland.com.
And it was all installed in a couple of days?
Yes, they replaced the doors with these lovely new ones, and the new quartz worktop just slotted over the old one. There were so many different styles and colours to choose from, I was spoilt for choice. And I didn't even have to empty the cupboards.
It looks like a brand new kitchen. I bet you saved some money.
I really did, thanks to Quartz Size.
Give your kitchen a new lease of life. Call Quartz Size on 0800 802 1792.
At Waitrose, we never stop asking questions about the food you eat, starting at the source, every source. Where we ask things like, who caught that fish? And, are you being paid fairly? What's your name? Oh, right, okay. Lovely to meet you. So, can our value range also have good values? Well, he seems to think so. And where's the coolest place to age our cheddar? What? Sorry, are we in a cave?
Actually, this is the Wookiee hole.
Very cool indeed. Now, can we make meat-free, flavour-full?
This isn't meat.
Well, that's a yes. And does it really make a difference to hand-stretch dough? Okay, we'll keep hand-stretching our dough, because that looks amazing. When we ask more questions, we get to better answers. Waitrose. Food to feel good about.
Don't miss your Saturday Night Takeaway tonight at 7.
Our star guest announcer is Rob Beckett.
We go undercover on Ryland in a ridiculous Eurovision special.
There's the latest instalment of Murder at Bigwig Manor.
And Busted are here for the end of the show.
We will see you for all that and lots more live tonight at 7 o'clock. See you then.
Taking a look at the latest stories where you are now. It's the ITV News.
Good evening. Now the latest in London. 5 teenagers are in custody after being arrested for allegedly assaulting police officers in Bromley. Police were called to the Glades shopping centre yesterday following reports of young people engaging in antisocial behaviour. 4 officers were injured while trying to break up the group. The Metropolitan Police has blocked its officers from having mobile phone access to TikTok and other social media apps. The Met has faced serious criticism over its officers' misuse of social media and WhatsApp. These issues were all clearly highlighted in the highly critical Casey review, which was published last week. Donations to the Battersea Dogs and Cats Home have reached £140,000 after the death of Paul O'Grady, who was an ambassador for the charity. The organisation was close to Paul's heart and featured on his show For the Love of Dogs. The comedian died on Tuesday at the age of 67.
What have I got here?
After being named London's Borough of Culture, Croydon is kicking off events with a musical concert this evening at Fairfield Hall. The London Mozart Players are opening with a 2-night showcase, putting Croydon's talent at the heart of the performance. The event aims to bring Londoners together and put culture at the heart of local communities.
What we really want to do is to try and break down